Hello and welcome back, everyone. I'm Eros Mandex. If this is your first time here, click the subscribe button, click the like button, say hello on in the comments down below. But onward to today's topic. It's going to be a story time about how we kind of sort of shit upon an entire campaign at level 2 in chapter 2. The campaign I am referencing is Hoard of the Dragon Queen. Unfortunately, due to my job of floating out in the middle of the ocean from time to time, I missed the first few sessions, but to kind of give you a prelude of the people I was playing with a Goliath Barbarian, a Tabaski Rogue, a Cobalt Warlock Wizard thing, and in the first two sessions they battled a half-dragon, jumped off of the wall of the city to try and tackle a red dragon, and stopped a good chunk of the people in, or the raiders of this city. Because in Hoard of the Dragon Queen, the entire backdrop is the cult of the dragon raids the entire countryside to try and get resources and recruit people to bring back Tiamat, the evil five-headed dragon deity, or something along those lines. So anyways, on to how the fuck we kind of tackled this shit and probably made a DM cry, at least on the inside, at level 2. So strap in, buckle on down, grab something to drink, because this is going to get at least a little bit racist. So anyways, as I was saying, I missed the first few sessions, so my character just essentially poofed into existence like the second or third session. So of course, when the DM posed the question, how do you want to meet these people? You're going to have an epic battle fighting off 12 kobolds or something like that. Bringing people back from the edge of death since you're a paladin. It's like, nah man, I'm just going to stroll up and say something along the lines of like, oh, let's do this! Let's find these cult motherfuckers and slit their throats till the roads run scarlet with their blood! Or something along those lines. Of course, the Tabaski Rogue looked over and was like, who the fuck are you? It doesn't matter, let's just get going and let's crush this cult. Because my character, who was a tiefling, was very against cults, in case you couldn't tell by the tone he took towards the cult of the dragon. So, he took a very much, a point break type of approach, like, why you here? I'm here because I'm here, is essentially how we met up, which is usually extraordinarily suspicious. If someone walks up and goes, I'm here because I'm here, just stab them because they're probably a bad guy, but I digress. So, of course, each journey begins with a foot in front of another, so we go on our way. Along the way, of course, we're talking, the Tabaski and the Goliath are talking about how the Tabaski owes him money, and this and that, and the Goliath being too dumb to realize he's been, in character of course, being too dumb to realize that the Tabaski's been scamming him for years, and then we see smoke in the distance. So, something that we realized after the fact, of course, as is tradition, is that we could have just kept going and had absolutely no interactions with the camp we're about to interact with. So, we see the smoke in the distance, and we think, what are we going to do? We talk a little bit, the people are bickering back and forth, and my character eventually goes, fuck it, I'm just going to scout ahead. Keep in mind, I'm a paladin. I'm wearing heavy armor. I'm doing the scouting. This shouldn't be happening. We have a fucking rogue, for God's sake. But onward I go, because my character is so bloodthirsty he'd rather be noticed and try and cut down a dozen people than just sit there and bicker on what to do. So we scout ahead, we do that. I see a camp of 8 humans and 8 kobolds. Something that is extremely noticeable is that they're eating dinner, relaxed, not really on alert or anything like that, and the humans are on one side of the camp and the kobolds are on the other side of the camp. You can see the tension in the air despite the distance between them. And my character observes, sees them eating dinner, almost goes to attack them. I'm a type of player where it's like something like, okay, I can't decide what my character's going to do, so I'm going to call high or low, and whatever it is, if it's high, I'm going to attack. If it's low, I'm going to go back to the camp and report it. I rolled low, so I went back to the camp and reported, this is where I saw. They were still bickering about what to do when I got back with the news of like, hey, yeah, the guy in heavy armor scouted ahead and saw that there's 8 humans and 8 kobolds. and the general situation of them. Now, this is where things get a little bit interesting, and the beginning of the snowball effect that resulted in the campaign being just curb stomped. The Sparky, the kobold, was like, well, I have an idea. What if I go in there and I convince the kobolds to kill the humans? Gotta kill the humans. And we were like, fuck it, that sounds good. We were all playing races that were relatively oppressed in the realm of things. Like, I was playing a tiefling who's, because he looks like a demon, hated. Kobold, just mistreated. Tabaski, usually a fucking, what are they called? Just, not evil, but like a thief, so usually looked down upon. And then the Goliath was the outlier. He just was a follower of sorts, a sheep, for lack of a better term. A wolf in sheep's clothing. There we go. No, sheep in wolf clothing. There we go. So Sparky goes into the cult area. We're all in strategic locations to fucking wipe them off the face of the earth. And Sparky, the person who plays Sparky, beautiful role playing. He said something to the effect of like, the humans are getting more than us. Why are they getting more? That's unfair. We do just as much work. Matter of fact, we do even more work. We do better work for the Dragon Queen, for the Dragon Lady. Like, how dare they get more food, better food? We deserve that. Matter of fact, I have an idea. How about we kill them? And we take their food, we take their gold, we show the Dragon Lady that she doesn't need humans, that she could just wipe the humans off the face of the earth, and we would be better because of it. And then he rolled like a 17 or some dumb shit like that, which the DM allowed the whole situation to progress. So, long story short, the 8 kobolds fucking annihilate 7 of the humans. The 8th human goes like, okay, yeah, fuck this shit, my hands are up. Only to be shot in the back of the head by the Tabaski rogue, which we were all initially upset about, because, like, we had a prisoner, what the fuck? And, God, bless his heart, is the person could have been like, hey, you know what, I let go of the arrow before he had his hands up. But instead he said, yeah, I shot him. I shot an unarmed man. Because that's what a lawful good character, or not a lawful good character, but that's what a good character does. Anyways, we had a nice little rant about that in session. I digress. So, of course, we get a little bit of information from kobolds. For those who don't know, kobolds are not the most intelligent of creatures in game. So they gave very vague details, told us about, like, not onslaught, a fucking, in case you couldn't hear that, that was a motorcycle, in the background. Where was I? Oh, yeah, they told us about an ambush up somewhere. So, of course, we, tried to get more information out of them, went forward, long story short, found an ambush. Once again, we annihilated, like, the kobolds literally ripped a few people limb from limb, was the description that the DM gave us. And we foiled the ambush, we capture a few people. Somehow we captured the veteran, which I guess he's not supposed to be captured, it's just that our Goliath was built very well, so he had a few abilities that he was able to catch him and drag him back to the frickin' camp or the ambush area. And so we were interrogating him. He, of course, gave up no information, so I kicked him, which ended up killing him. I brought him back to life. He still didn't give me any information, so I kicked him, killed him again, brought him back to life with lay on hands, and I think I did that, I think after that, I just let the kobolds tear him apart when he didn't give any information, because I'm a good player like that. Vengeance Paladins are fun. So how did we progress from there? Because after that, there's the camp. And of course, if people just stroll on in, not in cult garb, we're going to get arrested and probably executed. Matter of fact, in the book, it actually states if you get spotted, you are captured and you are executed, because you're in a camp with like 200 humans and 200 kobolds. Important detail for later. So how we got into the camp was we took the garbs or the robes from the cult initiates, put them on. I took the heavy armor from the, the veteran, and I progressed. We got into the camp. It was a busy camp. No one really paying us much mind. We had prisoners. Our prisoners were, I think, the Goliath and a few of the initiates who were too scared shitless to raise an alarm or anything like that. So we get to the prisoner tent. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, we're looking for an NPC, a monk, an elf monk. And so we thought, maybe he's in the prisoner tent. We bring him to the prisoner tent, he's not there, we're like, oh well. So we concoct a plan, or we more so put a plan into action that we concocted beforehand. Sparky and the 7 remaining kobolds would go throughout the camp and recruit other kobolds to meet back in the prisoner tent and schedule a revolt within the camp. That's what it's called, within the camp. And because in all reality it's a busy tent, and me being a human officer or an officer in the cult, ordering kobolds into the tent was, relatively easy for the most part. We got about 30 to 40 out of the 200 because we only gave the kobolds, I should say, like 15 minutes to gather as many as they could. Of course, we greeted them with smiles. I put my character in a position of servitude to the kobolds to better warm welcome them into the cult that Sparky called it a cult. My character called it a revolution for the evolution of society, because gotta kill the humans, which was actually a chant that was prevalent throughout the 2 sessions we did, was the kobolds and such going, gotta kill the humans, and stuff. Like I said, it's a smidge bit racist, or speciesist. I don't know. So, we get 30-40. Once again, Sparky delivers a fucking phenomenal speech as to why we gotta just take everything from the humans, deliver it to the dragon lady, and prove to her once and for all that she doesn't need humans, she only needs kobolds. So they get all fired up, they're leaving the tent, and I hand 10 kobolds, torches, because in the starting kit you have 10 torches. Very important detail, because I tell them light shit on fire when they get the symbol, which happened to be a rainbow in the sky. So we progress. I go out looking for the monk. Sparky looks for the monk. Sparky eventually finds the monk. We find him like hours later, like it's nighttime by this point. The camp is settled, and he finds me because he's a kobold in the camp. So that when he goes up and goes, I want to speak to him, he kind of goes like, the guard goes no. Of course, I think the guard relented when he went no, and then Sparky just starts like ugly crying, like one of the cryings where it's like you go like, why do you have to do that by me type of crying and sobbing. So eventually he gets up to the monk, verifies he's the monk, and then goes to find me, be like, hey, I need you to get the guard away, and I need you to get the monk. I'm like, okay, easy enough, easy day, we completed our mission. We could do this, and we might not even have to cause a revolt. I go in, and I see a guard talking to the monk. My character, being close enough to listen, but not good enough at listening, I hear bits and chunks of the conversation that I interpret as, maybe this guard is the monk's friend of some sort, or trying to give the monk a second chance. So instead of just going up and whoosh, the guard as I should have, I go, you need to leave. Why? Why do I need to leave? Because if you don't, I will kill you. To which the guard doesn't respond. I was trying to intimidate the guard away, but I guess the guard wasn't intimidated by me because he yelled out a name that, I forget the name. I couldn't find names real quick. So he yells out the name of the blue half-dragon from the first act that you fight in the first act. And which causes less than desirable results initially. He comes out, or he starts yelling stuff from the tent. Sparky, realizing that shit is about to get real. Either that or rolling initiative kind of dictates shit's about to go down. He gives the sign, which he had readied for when the right time, and up in the sky, and instantaneously, shit lights on fire. 10 kobolds running around a tent with a bunch of dry canvas tents and other flammable shit is not a good situation, apparently. So, insanity ensues. I think that's the word. Senti activated. Just activated ensues and sirs. I don't know the word. Shit went down. So, things are on fire. Myself and Sparky are hundreds and hundreds of yards away from our friends who are in the main area of combatants. Well, kobolds just get armed and go to kill the humans, because gotta kill the humans. Anyways, so the main revolt area of down below is not, ironically, not the most important thing that's going on right now. It's where myself and Sparky is, because it's myself, Sparky, the NPC, probably 12-ish guards, and 5 or 6 big bad evil guys who we're not supposed to face and who should have killed us very quickly and who we're not supposed to see until we're levels 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-ish. Yeah, not a good situation. Out of character, after I realized I fucked up, I kind of looked at the person who plays Sparky and was like, hey man, I'm sorry, we're gonna die. I know you liked Sparky as a character, because I played with Sparky before in another campaign, and Sparky is a very fun character to have in your campaign. I was like, I'm sorry, I feel bad, I fucked up. He's like, you're good, in a way of like he's trying to cope with serious loss of some sort. Anyways, as I'm sure you've guessed, because of the title of this video and the context of in which we're talking about this, shit went better than expected. So the kobolds are fucking annihilating the humans because they are nasty little shits when they're in mass. They have, I forget the ability they have, that if they're in a group of more than 3 or 4 kobolds, they roll at advantage, which is just scary. That's just scary, especially when there's 200 of them. So, somewhere along the line, so myself and Sparky, we're duking it out with, I think, drakes and humans, and then the big bad evil guys, which Sparky fortunately shot a firebolt at the boss tent, which lighted that on fire, almost critically injuring at least one of the big bad evil people. But the rest were already out, awake, and ready, and looking right at us going like, oh, we gonna fuck your day up. And so, like I said, insanity is activated, or shit is going down. Now, because the humans are getting annihilated for the most part by the kobolds, 20 or 30 kobolds that happen to be in the area to hear Sparky's cry for help. It wasn't mine or Sparky's cry for help. When we eventually went, fuck, we need help, kobolds in the area, gather. Ended up running up to where we were at, and they took out actually a lot of guards. Wow, 20 or 30 kobolds are scary. If you ever have a chance to face them singularly, I really recommend against it. Unless you have some nasty-ass spells. But anyways, of course, when the kobolds arrive, they take out the humans first, they start taking out the drakes, and then one of the big bad evil people, whose name I forget, is a black half dragon, who happens to also be the Dragon Lady, the person that we were supposedly gathering bullshit for to make her know that she doesn't need humans, she has the kobolds. Says, kobolds, attack! Pointing directly at myself and Sparky. At this point, I already gone down once because she hit fucking hard with her legendary sword. So, when she issued that command, Sparky, of course, once again, wonderful role player, issued the 5 words that just made the campaign just crumble in upon itself. After rolling, I think he rolled an 18, 19, or a nat 20 with this one as well, where he said something to the effect of, don't believe her, she is lying, or something like that, or she betrayed us, something along those lines. To which the kobolds just went believed him, and went kill her! and proceeded to rip her limb from limb. Well, she took out a good chunk of them. She, like I said, she was the main bad guy, I believe, and she hit fucking hard. So, long story short, the kobolds, honestly, the revolution for the evolution of the society or the cult with the kobolds is the only reason why we didn't die very quickly. Like, we should have been dead, like, within the first 20 seconds of combat in the grand scheme of things. So, she dies, she disintegrates, and she drops her legendary mask and legendary sword, which are both, I think it's a black dragon mask and a sword that is just like the wet dream of any barbarian for the most part. And so we won. The combat was over. The kobolds in the main combat area mopped the floor of the remaining humans. We stopped it when there were like 20 humans left and said, you either join our cult, or you die. To which they joined because they just got cut the fuck down by a shitload of kobolds. And campaign over, or session over. After the session was over, the DM kind of went like, yeah, I think this campaign's over, because you literally just took out the entire cult. Not the entire cult, but you took out all but 2 big evil bad guys. And the 2 people remaining that weren't here aren't even the most important people in the grand scheme of things, and you're gonna take them out in a chapter or 2 anyways. So I think you guys just beat this campaign at level 2 in chapter 2. And he was going to try and stitch together the storyline to see if there's any way he can homebrew the campaign, for lack of a better term, without the big bad evil guy people. But he was looking at it I just can't. I can't. If I had the Rise of Tiamat, which is the next campaign after this one, I could possibly stitch something together, because then I would know what's happening. And, which, I bought in the book because I had a tax return, and so that we could do that. But what we all decided as a group to do was just restart the campaign, or for the most part, restart the campaign after the camp, and create new characters, and just carry on the campaign after the camp. Of course, with the added rule of no causing race wars if we want to play kobolds, or if we just want to play in general. And so how did that storyline wrap? So the storyline, what am I saying? The storyline where we just fucking stopped the campaign, and how we continued on with that is we actually have a person who's playing a kobold in this new campaign. Of course, he can't start a race war because that's the agreed agreement, but the added thing of his character, the kobold, is a person from the universe of where the rise of Sparky happened, and he got sent, and Sparky sent him to our dimension to prevent the rise of the kobold revolution, because it caused the planet to essentially collapse in upon itself, and Sparky rose to godhood as is deserved. So I look forward to actually playing Rise of the Dragon Queen, to be honest, but that is how you beat Rise of the Dragon Queen at level 2 in chapter 2, is with a kobold causing a race war, while role-playing beautifully and rolling pretty decently as well, and having a DM who's willing to just fucking roll with it. That's one thing I gotta say about our DM. He is very willing to roll with relatively anything, so long as it's within the realm of realism. If it's something that will actually happen, because in the book of in the Hoard of the Dragon Queen, it does clearly state that there's tension between the kobolds and the humans, and the kobolds are mistreated, which is perfect petri dishes for a revolution. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys stuck through this entire thing, click the subscribe button, click the like button, comment on down below, and as always, I hope you guys have a good day. I hope you guys have a great night. I hope you have a wonderful whatever you decide to have, and I hope to see y'all next time.